Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608 and today I am playing StarMade. And we are back with this little fighter, and I want to make this a big fighter. After playing with it, it's not a very good fighter. So, let's gut it. Yep, just rip all this nonsense out. I want to use it as a base, though. I kind of like the aesthetic. It's kind of weird and chunky, but I don't want to use it as a as an actual fighter. I don't want to use its. Well, you know what I mean. I want to use it as an actual fighter, but I want to use it the base anyway. Let's see here. So let's let's do that. And no, I don't want that. Undo. It is you that needs. There we go. In fact, we can take that and chop it right there. So what do we need to do to make this oh, hello. My mouse doesn't seem like it's working right. Terrible, I know. So now the rear end is sticking out, but what do we need to do to make this a decent fighter? Well, first of all, we're going to need to get a decent reactor and a decent weapon system. So let's see, what do we want for weapon system? We could do missile, we could do beam, we could do cannon. Let's see, let's do lock-on missiles with a primary cannon. Alright, that sounds fun. So let's wire up our primary cannon first. So let's come in here and cannon, and let's wire up our lock-on missiles, which are not here. Okay, let's do the beam there, cannon here, so everything is nice and even. And what happened to my beam? Oh, I stuck that in the wrong spot. There we go. And missile, and let's link the beam to the missile, so we have a missile computer, which is our primary fire, cannon computer, which is secondary. Throw a scanner here, jump drive here, rail dock I usually keep somewhere down here, and activation beam for fun. Alright, and if we're going to be doing this nonsense, then let's go ahead and add a camera. The camera makes it easier to fly, I think. Pop that out, and just stick a camera right there. There we go. Alright, so now let's give him a little more oomph. There's symmetry mode back on. What does our oomph look like? We're setting at usage is 550. Active is 35. Alright. What are you doing? Stop that. You'll notice our active use is not increasing even though we're putting blocks down. That's because they're unstable. We don't have stabilizers. And if you notice, as we add their stabilization here, our recharge goes up. And let's rip that out as well. I can't see anything. There we go. Alright. So how do I want this to play out? Let's see. Reactor blocks 101. Stabilizers not quite there yet. Stabilizers 87. We want that to be like 90 something. We'll go with 101 for the time being. That's 100% stabilization. That is 1000 recharge. Now, it used to be that you could get like 25% stabilization and you were good. Notice I said used to be. That is not the case any longer. You must have 100% stabilization. Otherwise, you don't get anything extra from your reactor. All right, now you don't get the nice, easy look at it and see where we are. You have to go to this to see the efficiency here. All right, making sure my video is on. I have done that. I've done that recently. I recorded an episode of something and it did not have video up. It was terrible. All right. Let's see. Let's branch these arms out a bit. And how do I want the weapon systems to do? There we go. Maybe extend this a bit. And there. Okay. So let's go grab our cannon. And let's do like a cannon unit here. That will be dual shot there. Maybe center? It was centered. Oh. My outputs aren't. There we go. That looks better. So let's pull up a Light Fighter 4. Admin load one of those. Yeah, that's enough to harm a Light Fighter 4. Well, at least hurt its shields. This is not the primary weapon. This is the secondary weapon. Is that enough to take out? No, is that even enough to make a 3? Alright, I want to at least knock out a block of armor. About here and here. Yes, I know that the block of armor is a little bit relative as to where it is, because this block of armor dies a lot faster than that one. Because that one has more armor behind it. And besides, cannon isn't really the best thing for armor. Cannon or kinetic energy does systems. You want heat energy for dealing with armor. Okay. Okay. There we go. That is doing bad things to armor. Not white damage, but it'll do. Let's see. So we're gonna say that's good. What's our energy look like? We use 25%. Use 50% moving and shooting and shielding. And unlike the old days, shields don't have two different rates in the old days. The shields had two different rates, a charging rate and a, not charging rate, rest rate. Now they just have the shield rate, and it's the same cost for shields, energy cost that is, whether they're charging or not. Let's just block this up. Current output. Not doing anything permanent, just putting blocks here. Now, for the main event. Missiles. Let's see. Oh, I'm rotating. If you go into flight mode and hit V, at least I think that's what I have it set to, it stops rotation. So let's set U as center, and U as center, and how expensive is this? About 25%. Oh, I only have one missile. We need more missiles. There we go. Let's run a couple of these this way. How much is that? Weapons. That gives us 4 missiles. Okay, so we can fire. There we go. We can fire twice before we have to wait for reload. Alright. What does that do? Well, it doesn't matter what that does because it's not the weapon. I want my main weapon to have lock-on missiles, which are damage beam missiles. Now we need some beam modules here. They do not have to be something. Well, they do not have to be 100% ratio, but I tend to do them as a 100% ratio because, well, not always though. That should be, yep, that's 100%. There we go. Oh wow, that did bad things to my energy. So let's tone that down a bit. About 66%. 66.7. That did bad things to my energy. How about 30%? That did bad things to my energy, but I'll live. Okay. I have to wait for the missile capacity to recharge. Why are you waiting so long to recharge? That's because I have to wait for it to recharge twice. The cooldown of the weapon is where the blue line thingy goes around in the hotbar here. And then the actual missile capacity, I have to wait for that to recharge as well. Because now we have missile capacity, we have ammo for the missiles. And depending on how many missiles and all that jazz, it has a cost. There we go. And looks like here is, what, 8 seconds? 11 seconds to reload these missiles. This thing still has 50%. Nah, that's not good. If I can't take this fiddly little ship out, there we go. That's better. I need to rethink something. I'm not gonna call this a success. In fact, I might even call this a, not success. We might even call this a failure, but failures are stepping stones. So, what have we learned with this? I need bigger reactor, maybe a single missile instead of 2 missiles. Yeah, I think a single missile instead of 2, it takes less power, or you would get more damage for less power. So I think there is actually a power penalty for having multiple groups, or I was going to say modules, not multiple modules, multiple groups of weapons tied to one computer. So if we combined all these into one, it'd be a stronger missile altogether. I don't think it's very much stronger, but a stronger missile with less power usage. Oh, my ship disappeared. It timed out. Overheated and timed out. And not real sure about using this. This is a frame. We'll see. Because I still kind of like it, I'm just not sure about using this particular configuration. I'll have to think about it. I'm going to play with this shape a little. Well, that's probably a lie. I'm going to say I'm going to play with this shape a little until we see each other again. No promises. But I think we're going to scrap these arms coming out to missiles. Besides, that's nice, big, bulky targets. Not exactly sure how we're going to go with this, but it needs a bigger reactor, probably a single missile output, and maybe double up on my, keep my cannons and integrate them better somehow. I think that could be a better fighter. You know what? If we were to extend the nose out, and then do like a triangle-y bit here. Then extend these out a bit. Oh, no. like this. What am I doing? Stop that. I have an X-Wing. All right, I have been JW608. This has been StarMade, and my truncated X-Wing is, I think, we're going to find a better solution. And I will see you then.